All right, y'all, we back with another one, man. Y'all know how I do. Always pushing help, well, better understand itself. I got a live late tonight, man. I've been trying to put some stuff together. Shout out to Carrie, shout out to Avatar. Been helping me put some things together. We trying to get in different states and make things happen. So I appreciate everybody who been following the channel, that been, holding me down, supporting me, It's good to have support, you know what I mean? And people been showing me a lot of that. So I gotta always give my appreciation. So in this video, y'all know I did a last video about in Florida. What's up, Tania? I appreciate you tapping in. I had to get on these politics and principles. So in this video, I'm going over some principles that we the people, we got to stand on, and then I'm going over a little bit of politics. So if y'all don't know, right, the FBI, they just offered $50,000 for the suspect in the Minnesota Lawmaker shootings. Now, we don't never see that same kind of energy when something happened to our people, right? We don't never see 50K reward. It's like, I'm all fine for them giving rewards, but I don't like when we make politicians, healthcare, CEOs, we make them look like they're the cream of the crop. Police officers, they don't treat us, we all ain't the same, especially our people. So I had a problem with that because when I see the twins in Georgia, when they got when they got unalived, we don't see that. We don't see that care from everybody. Like, this is normal. So I'm gonna go over this video. I'm gonna go over Corey Holcomb, man, going over the principles of the community that a lot of our people been crossing. Maxine Waters, I did a video and she's standing out there telling Black people to go out and riot and advocate for immigrants that's here illegally. And it's just crazy. I feel like we just gotta have more principles. But I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Let's get it. Let's go over this here quick. FBI offering $50,000 for the suspect. Let's get it.
Winter, Tom, so much information and yet so many questions still out there. Right. Well, let's get to that new information, Jose, and that is the FBI just in the last 20 seconds has released a $50,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of Vance Luther Bolter. That's a $50,000 reward. You're looking at that photograph there. In the course of that, they've put out.
Now, condolences to the family, everybody who was, had anything to do with this devastating tragedy. But I'm still standing on business for my people, that we ain't looking for the people that, did things in our communities. And I know we got, some people that in our communities that do things, but I want them to have the same respect for the people, the original people of this land. We need to have more respect for the people that been here, in my opinion. But let them cook.
Out some additional photos, one of which is a series of photos I can show you now that is a result of the investigation. This is him, according to images that we've obtained.
Salute to you, Mickey. I'm so glad you tapped in. I appreciate you. I always want to hear your perspective. Let's get it.
And you can see him there, just as described by law enforcement officials, is looking like a police officer. It looks like he's got a badge there on his chest. It looks like he has some sort of a vest, as we've reported earlier today. And then this photo, which matches a series of photos that law enforcement just released at a press conference. According to those officials at the press conference, they believe Bolter is trying to leave the greater Minneapolis area. He was last spotted in Minneapolis itself. You'll remember that these shootings took place in a suburb that was outside of Minneapolis. So that's the latest on this. They are absolutely looking for this individual. As far as the
now, they're looking for this individual, but this is my point. This is what I want to bring up. We see a lot of weird old foul play that's done with lawmakers, politicians. We seen what happened to the healthcare guy in New York. So I don't want to just feel like these people are just innocent, because I look at politicians, lawmakers, I don't look at them as, they're more of criminals to me, because they do bag deals. Somebody could have been left out of the play, so they feel some type of way. and we don't get to know this information. So I'm not gonna just feel like these people are just, good people. Because I was talking to my homie, and he was telling me about Puerto Rico. He was like, bro, if you in the streets out here and you get, shot, something happened to you, you was into something. You ain't just, innocent. Ain't nobody just finna go at an innocent person. I feel like that too about these politicians and these healthcare CEOs. If somebody's shooting at you and they feel like they, trying to go to that measures, I feel like it's something you got going on that we don't know about. Is this kind of violence is intended for people from doing something. I don't think nobody just gonna do something to you for no reason. That's just my opinion. It does happen, but I ain't going for it.
Shooting itself, we know from some documents we've just received from our Chicago bureau that, in fact, the medical examiners determined that those deceased died of multiple gunshot wounds. That's the former lawmaker and her husband. So this individual is to be considered armed at this point. That's what the law enforcement believes. The list, we are told, is extensive that he had on him of other politicians and individuals in that area. So a lot for investigators to comb through what they're calling a targeted political killing, Jose.
Now they saying this is a targeted political killing. So what I'm saying is I think a lot more of this could be happening with how we seeing how politics is going on. You seeing that officer in Florida, the deputy, he's out here saying, hey, look, you come over here playing with all of these paid protesters, we gonna take them out. We ain't even playing with them. So it's like, people only respect violence out here. It's sad, but this is the truth, bro. People will try you, they will play with you until they know there's some real consequences. If you ever been anywhere in the streets, so you know that this is how the game goes. People only respect what consequence gonna come after playing with you. Other than that, they're gonna play with you, they gonna do whatever they gonna do because it ain't no real consequence. So I'm not just going to think that these people are just totally innocent, because if something would have happened to me in the streets tomorrow, if somebody would have shot at me in the streets, everybody going to be like, yo, Rob was doing, something happened. Ain't nobody just shot at Rob for no reason. Like, dang, he was doing something. That's how they look at us when we get into something. But when we see a politician, or we got to think that these people are just, good people, and like you say, I don't know if they're good or not, but I just don't feel like somebody would just murder them for no reason.
So, Tom, let's go over some of this information that you're just bringing up.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories.
So I'm gonna get off of that, but I went to they having protests everywhere in the city. Patrick, what's good, man? I appreciate you for tapping in. This late, man. I ain't think y'all would tap in, but I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I want to get y'all opinion too. So my point of this is it's a $50K reward for the suspects in Minnesota. Do you think they was involved in any foul play? I believe that the killer is in custody. Oh, the killer is in custody. Okay. But Patrick, do you believe they're involved in any foul play? Do you believe that, those lawmakers was involved in anything? For somebody to go to those depth of measures, how you feel about that? Because, Patrick, if somebody came and shot and was shooting at your car, I'm gonna be like, man, Patrick, you got some enemies or something? What's going on? But I want to get into the protest is just getting out of hand, in my opinion. They just came to Florida. I did a video about it. I don't know if y'all checked it, but he said he please. I did a video about the protesters in Florida, and let me pull it up. And this is everywhere in Florida. I was hitting my homies up, and everybody was telling me, like, yeah, man, Prosperi was away, Dora. I don't get what you're saying on that one, Patrick. I think you may have for a second. I don't but check this out. Check this out. This is what's been going on around Florida today. And y'all know that officer said they not playing. So, hey, I live here in the Twin Cities. So you up there. You in Minnesota, bro. So you know all about it.
Things don't end up in a negative manner, and hopefully it's just peaceful.
Well, right now, an estimated 2,000 protests are set to unfold all across the country. What started as unrest in California, it's now spilled nationwide. It's expected to reach us here at home.
Local 10's Leanne Motorhone in Coral Springs, where one of those protests is expected. Leanne.
Yeah, and the start time on paper was 9 o'clock, but we saw people here starting to gather as early as 8:15, and I want to show you some of the crowd. We are at the corner of Sample Road and University Drive. These are just some of the people that are in.
Now, I don't like to make everything about race, right? I don't really, race don't matter to me, right? But what I am seeing is this. They protesting. Why are they protesting, getting caught up in illegal activity? Right. But if you look at these videos, I'm going to show y'all, because I went to the one downtown where I'm at. And what I'm telling you is I seen mostly Caucasian and Hispanic people. It was very few blacks that I seen. You put paid actors, right? And I'm thinking, I seen my homie. I got a cousin right here, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all if y'all can see it. He was out in Fort Lauderdale holding up a sign, right? He doing this thing, holding up a sign, but I'm like, dang, why is he? Cause why would you do that? But I understand that he had worked for the Democratic Party before. So, in a call center. So my point is, most of these people, I feel like they got ties to organizations. If y'all check out my video, it was some people from Planned Parenthood, and they were, trying to get people to donate $1 a month to just further their situation. And it's a lot of other people, and I'm like, how was all of these people fighting all of these causes together? Because it wasn't just immigration, it was Planned Parenthood, it was the Gaza. It was like a lot of stuff came together, and I'm like, dang, it's not even one singular thing. They chanting a whole bunch of stuff. So it's like, check this out.
In our immediate vicinity, you can probably see there are folks on the other side of the intersection, really every single corner of this intersection. And I also want you to look down the street.
These are Caucasian people, bro. What? Listen, look at this
Here, where you can see there are dozens and dozens of people. A short time ago, maybe about 10 or 15 minutes ago, I counted about 100, 150 people.
I just don't understand. Why would, help me understand this? We need to get involved. The police will hurt black people. We need to not get involved. Of course, we don't need to get involved. But my point is, why would people be advocating for immigrants that's not here illegally to be here illegally? And it's not Spanish people. I can see people from Mexico. I can understand that. Why would you have Caucasian people, black people, advocating for somebody to break the law? They had brothers going to jail for marijuana for years. A lot of people, black, white, all kind of colors. I ain't see this big advocate for people. You put it's easy to understand. It's just we know that it's paid. They not Karens, they are white. It's just look at this everywhere.
And really,
you
the
go.
crowd keeps growing because they're parking their cars and walking from a couple blocks out to come to this intersection.
Look at her. Look at her video in the camera. Right now, she probably just getting
Over here because I'm going to introduce you to one of the organizers of this event. This is Christine Bleeker. Sorry, Christine, I'm interrupting you here. I want you to tell our viewers a little bit more about this particular protest because they're happening all across the country. This one's specific to Coral Springs. And so what does it tell you that all these people gathered even before the official start time?
This was amazing. We had a scheduled start time at 9. I got here at 8:30. There was already at least 150 people here. He was the first. Great. So most of the protests are in more metropolitan areas, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and this is a much more accessible way.
And they're chatting USA. Like if you chatting USA, you would want to be like, look, we don't want no illegal people here doing illegal things.
For people to come to a protest and help collectively tell our community and stand with our community and say what is happening is not normal, right? Defying the Constitution is not normal. Treating immigrants without due process is not normal. Taking funds away from Medicaid to throw a military parade, this is not normal. And so we find strength in the collective, and this was just a very accessible way for people who live.
Patrick, you right, Patrick. Go with you on this. This is all retired people that ain't got nothing else to do with their life, bro. And they'll take that $150, $200. You know, I'm pretty sure it's people that's gonna take that money. Shout out to LaFairs, man. You put the protesters out getting paid. But I'm with you. These are people that ain't got nothing better else to do. They retired and they just trying to get some extra income. You know, when I went, I seen the protest early. I was just driving by and I just seen the police everywhere. I'm like, let me pull over. Let me see what's going on. And I seen the protesters and the lady, as I parked my car, lady was like, hey, do you want a sign? It's like, you don't even know what I'm doing. You just offering me signs. So it's like, this is an orchestrated plan, but it's bigger things that we could be. I don't like this. You know, I don't like that we out here pushing all of this for all of these causes that ain't really making sense right now for what we need in America.
A little bit more in the suburbs to come together, to see their neighbors, to meet their neighbors. And what I love about this protest is that we're asking everyone to bring donations for a food pantry, local food pantries.
Donations. When I was out there, that's all I kept hearing. People trying to get people to donate, spend monthly money. It's about money now. It's like they want you to spend money. Like that was really the whole thing was about. Of course, you want to sign. You're the minority poster child for. I'm like, she looked at me and said, man, do you need a sign? And I'm like, no, I don't need a sign. They were passing out water. They had food for the protest. I mean, they're going all out for these people, man. But I don't like this. They changed the message to USA from Mexico because the optics were bad. This was organized on Reddit last week. That's crazy. Because no king, you right, because it's no kings is everywhere. Like, that ain't just in one place. But my buddy holding up a sign talking about we the people. He's standing around middle-aged white women, you know, retired people talking about we the people. Let me let her play.
Because while we are pushing back against the federal government and what's happening, it's really important that we continue to support and bless our own community and actually get to know our own neighbors here.
And so Zeke, I want to have you, this is my photographer, Zeke, behind the lens. I want to have him kind of give you a lay of the land, so to speak, so you can see the kind of folks that are here. I apologize in advance if any signs have some naughty language on it. Hopefully those don't end up on camera.
They got the LGBT community out there. This is Democratic ran, bro. They got the LGBT community. They got the Gaza. They got every cause you can name of. They pushing. What's up, Avatar? Shouts out to you, brother.
But you know, there are so many of these protests around the country, like you mentioned, and this in an area like Coral Springs is sort of a different experience than, say, downtown Fort Lauderdale or downtown Miami. And so what are some of the issues, and you as a longtime Coral Springs resident, what are some of the biggest issues that you think resonate with folks here in this city?
I think just the ultimate
But tell me though, I want to know, y'all, what is this gonna do if they paying protesters, right, to sit out here with signs? What is this gonna do? Like, what is that money spent? What is it gonna do? Like, are they thinking that they're gonna persuade the American people? Like people who sitting there looking at this and be like, we're gonna support these causes? Like the average person, everybody that I speak to, they know these causes is BS. But just because you got people that, you know, you paying them $200-300 and it's probably GS, Mr. Soros, you know he got something to do with the money. But
just authoritarian nature of things, doing executive orders, not following the Constitution. I mean, they like to talk about the Constitution. A lot of Republicans we've seen carry the Constitution. I'm an attorney. I actually know what the Constitution says. I actually took an oath to the Constitution, and what is happening is not right, and it's not appropriate for the three levers of government. But people are seeing their Social Security in doubt, their Medicaid in doubt, and the way that this country is now treating our neighbors and our friends.
And really quickly, before I let you go, we've obviously seen a presence. We've seen Coral Springs police sort of at each of the corners. I know that you said that you had spoken with the police and kind of what their role is, obviously making sure that counter protesters, you know, that there's no clashes in that way, and also to make sure that things don't get out of hand, so to speak. And so can you talk a little bit about what you've heard about that experience and what the relationship is with the police?
Our relationship with the Coral Springs Police has been wonderful, especially shout out to Officer Pena, who I have been in close contact with over the last couple of weeks. They are here to actually keep us safe. I have told everyone very specifically, this is a peaceful protest. Violence is not going to be tolerated. We are not going to tolerate it. The Coral Springs Police is not going to tolerate it. They are tucked kind of in the back. They have a medic in case we need anything. And they're actually here just to make sure we don't need anything. So it's been wonderful.
Christine, thank you very much for that. We want to tell you on the No Kings website, the official sort of sanctioned protest locations are here in Coral Springs. That's already started at 9 a.m. Downtown Fort Lauderdale.
Now, this is, you know, this just happened in Florida, but it was a clash between the No Kings and the MAGA. I'm going to show y'all that, but I'm going to read what Louis Green said. Because they don't care if they broke the law, they want them to work for the low wages. And they want black people who they really want us, because we are beginning to do for ourselves and unite. Right. And they're making it about Trump. Right. We could tell it's about Trump. It's just, but check this out. I'm going to show y'all the clash, right? I'm going to break this down. But the clash that's going on with them and MAGA, which I think this could be more paid for too. I just think, I don't know. I can't trust everything I see, man. It's just, we're living in a weird time. But check this out. Let me show y'all this. For Universal. Like everybody got the same message. But they just clash with the MAGA. Let's check it out.
You get out of here. What is that? I press charges. I'm pressing charges. I'm pressing charges. You too. He can't speak because he blowing.
So listen, in Florida, Florida got mostly older people. They out there waving the flag. They're not doing too much. I don't know where this at, but this is where it's people that's more violent. They more, want to beef with somebody. So it's gonna be a total different from the protesters that we seen in Florida.
The organ. Oh yeah, mask. Here we go, mask. No. Oh, okay. You spit on me.
No.
Hey, is that on video? Okay, okay. When you're so proud, why you wear mask?
I'm proud to be a San Francisco.
No, you're not proud.
This is in San Francisco, I guess, but they spitting on people. It's like now it's getting to the point where this is just too much.
You want a hug?
No, I'm okay.
Why not?
It hurts my head, my hair.
Are you afraid?
My hair follicles.
You want the Trump hat? You want the Trump hat? Why not? Did you get that on the video? Yes. Did you get that on the video too? Okay, you got it. You get out. Don't touch me.
Quit touching her. Stop touching her.
If you love.
Do you see the difference though? When we see it in Florida, but we seeing it in California, it's like two totally different protests. These people are spitting on people, putting their hands on people. It's like this kind of protest shouldn't be allowed. Once all of this happened, I think they should.
Mexico so much. Why don't you go to Mexico? Fuck off. Did you get that on the video? Yes. Did you get it on the video too? Okay, you got it. You get out. Don't touch me.
Quit touching her. Stop touching her. We all see what you're doing. You're trying to
stop it. Huh?
Stop touching her.
So today, I'm with Raymond and Marco. We are going to the No Kings protest in San Francisco. It's going to be thousands of people, and there's only 3 of us. So if you can pray for us that everything goes well. I will show you the t-shirts we wear. I have a Trump MAGA hat, and Biden is wearing it. And Raymond, we have a new guy. He wearing Trump one, and Marco also.
That's deep, Mickey. That's deep right there. I kind of suspected that they killed the guy, but that's deep right there.
Me llamo Raymond, soy de Venezuela. Amo a Trump. Rece por nosotros que no nos pase nada a mí, a mis compañeros. Y aquí estamos, pues, en la lucha.
What do you say?
From Venezuela, he loves Trump, and he say, please pray for us because nothing happened to us for today. And thank you very much.
Thank you guys so much. And you can see I also buy new t-shirts. So all of the money you guys donate and every dollar is counting. We buy t-shirts, and of course I take care of my guys. So I got him Trump one, and Marco is wearing Gulf of America, and I'm wearing this t-shirt. Are you ready, Raymond?
Yeah. I'm ready. Strong.
So I met Raymond today. He said we need to go to this protest. He needs to go to this protest. He's from Venezuela, and he is all for Trump. Look at them. They're gonna start attacking us in a minute. So. And the same people wearing the same yellow jackets. So let's do some filming. Look at all of this crowd. Look at all of these people. Maybe it's gonna be peaceful. Let's see.
Rooms are not peaceful.
Oh, here we go.
Shame! The fuck out! Move! Shame! Get out!
Yeah, here we go.
Hey, start dancing! Start dancing!
Can you go dance? Why?
Yeah, why are you here?
Why are you here?
It's a protest, but I'm curious, like,
It's a protest.
But are you here in support of Trump, essentially?
Yeah, I'm for Trump. Yeah, of course, we for Trump.
Okay, so you guys want us to come here and just like show?
Yeah, just walk around.
Okay, so what do you like about him?
I like he deporting illegals.
Oh, you like that?
Of course, I love it.
Okay.
Why? Do you like illegal people in
But
the country?
no offense, but you have an accent. So where are you from?
Okay, maybe I'm illegal too, but he didn't deport me yet.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad you're still here, I guess.
She's crazy. I don't want to talk to her, guys. Yeah, you too, you too.
Who wants a fool for a king? Not me. It just seems like in California, they are a lot more, it's different, you know? It's a little bit different. I don't know what they doing over there. They may be paying them a little bit more to get a little violent, but it's not the same as everywhere else.
Yeah, you too.
You have your rights. Don't take ours away, motherfucker.
You didn't have anywhere better to be today, huh?
Brainwashing takes years.
If you love Mexico so much, why don't you go to Mexico?
Ya, porque no puedo ahorita, pero tengo muchas ganas y voy a ver.
Of course, there is no answer because no answer.
But they pay her. They pay her. She's out here holding up a Mexican flag. You know, it's crazy.
We don't do that. We don't do that.
You do. You suck a pig.
Don't do that. No.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's good. It's okay.
You should wear if you wear this, then you can have this.
You guys see how peaceful they are. Very nice people.
I know you guys are trying to create provocation, but like I have a
No, we just walk. You guys try. You guys are trying. We are very peaceful. Thank you. Thank you, sir. We're very peaceful. They try to educate.
But I just did a video in the beginning of my video. I don't know if y'all seen that, but I did the video on how the lawmakers and got killed, right? Because of all of this war stuff we got going on. Somebody gonna end up getting hurt because it's like people are really in their feelings about politics. And it's crazy to me that they don't understand the games that's being played.
Oh yeah, mask. Here we go, mask. Why are you putting mask on? We are clean.
What?
Nothing. Let's go.
What if your website's success was only limited
Oh,
by one single thing?
escalate.
Privacy regulations.
It's definitely gonna escalate, especially in California. You know, good thing that sheriff was telling everybody you're not gonna have that here. I think that stopped people, but in California is nuts.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah. Take your mask off if you're so proud. Why are you putting it on? As soon as you see us.
Yeah.
No answer. Come on. It's okay.
I mean, can you imagine these people supporting the president? They getting spit on, they getting pressed. It's like that ain't a good party to y'all supporting a party and they doing such stuff like this. It's just crazy to me.
Let's go.
It's our time.
You guys can see all of that. No, how much you guys get paid? Why not? It's in public. Why don't you have a Trump hat?
Now this guy's sitting here with a Black Lives Matter shirt on. left leaning. You know that's on the left side. I never supported that Black Lives Matter stuff, but all of the organizations that they can team up, come together and try to make some money. This is just a money grab. I'm just thinking all of this is just a money grab. This guy got his Black Lives Matter shirt on, and he's selling Trump t-shirts.
Come on, man. Oh, Regu, let's go.
I'm just curious. Why would you want to come here?
Why not? To see you guys.
To see us?
Yes. What? No, you're screaming, so I want to know what you're saying.
Nothing. I'm just nothing. God bless you, man. I don't want to get involved. But no arguing.
You do. God bless you. You mega too, huh?
Huh?
You mega too.
Oh, fuck no, man.
Why not? Why not? Maybe one day soon.
Because you're racist morons.
Me?
How's that?
Oh yeah. How so? Tell me why you. Tell me.
Are you a Latino?
No, I'm from Europe, from Poland.
Where are you from? Poland.
From Poland.
Okay. Look what Trump is doing to this country. He's
What?
destroying it.
I'm Latino.
Yeah.
Destroying what? Just tell me.
Why are you supporting Trump?
Because he's cleaning this country.
Yeah.
We clean the garbage. We need to
Cleaning the garbage.
Right shop. We have to clean the garbage.
So you're supporting everybody who's illegal.
Are you garbage too?
Let's go.
No,
Just
for the garbage.
You know, I'm an immigrant too.
Let's go.
So am I garbage?
There's no point talking to him, guys. You want a hat?
No, I'm okay.
Why not?
It hurts my head, my hair,
Are you afraid?
my hair follicles.
You want the Trump hat? You want the Trump hat? Why not?
I don't support either side. I don't give a
Okay.
That was the smartest guy.
Mom, how old are you? Why are you protesting?
I am fucking old enough to tell you that you
Don't
need to
touch me.
leave.
Don't.
That guy said he don't support either side. That was the smartest thing I probably heard in this whole segment. But let him cook.
Touch me.
I'm fucking old enough to tell you to leave.
No, you piss off. You piss off. Take off your fucking mask.
Don't push.
Don't push me. Don't touch me.
Yeah, we all see what's going on.
We don't see what you. That's what you're doing. Why you come to me?
Y'all are not going to come here. Come on.
It was peaceful, and you come here. What?
Y'all are not going to come here and start a fight.
I'm not fighting. He come to me. Push me.
No, you.
I have it on the video. No, I have on the video. Okay, we walk then.
Get out of here.
No, I'm not doing it.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Your technique doesn't work, you know. You need bigger side. Bigger side.
Go home, fascist! Go home, fascist! Go home, fascist! You're not welcome here.
Why I'm fascist?
Because you support that guy.
He's not fascist.
Yes, he is.
He's not.
Then you don't know what a fascist is.
Okay, then you're wrong.
Go home, fascist! Go home, fascist! Go home, fascist!
Let's go.
Go home, fascist!
Yeah, this is what our politics in America has come to, bro. It comes to this where it's like, bro, this is stupid, bro. You know, losing brains. It is, man. It's stupid, bro, that they fighting like this. But my point is, it's a money grab. I think, like Lewis Green said, bro, I think that when you have people on the side, no matter what side you're on, it's like it's easier for them to. It's like if you had a football game and everybody Dolphin fan, and you got Dolphin t-shirts right here. You could sell them the t-shirt. It is comedy. It's funny, bro. Seeing people act like this, that you would have never thought grown-ups that got careers and everything acting like this, you know? But it's a money grab. It's people selling stuff. And money is a tool for the right. It's a power grab. Yeah. He put, how was it a money grab again? This is how. When I went out there, I went out to one and that was here in Florida. They were saying Planned Parenthood was out there to try to get you to spend $1 a month. It was some healthcare people. It's organizations that's out there, and they're trying to get you to sign up for things. Plus, it's also people selling T-shirts. It's like, this is more like a football game tailgate party. And people can sell stuff out of it. That's how it's a money grab to me. Like when I went out there and I was talking to people, it's people that had something to sell. It wasn't for sale, but it's something where you can support their organization or their campaign, whatever they got going on. Yeah, these are big grown kids. I'm gonna put y'all through a little bit more, then I'm gonna take some calls, man. But
why don't you go closer, sir? You need to go closer.
Go home, fascists.
Oh yeah.
Go home, fascists. Go home.
Look, this lady got to be 60 years old, 50 something years old, 60. What is she?
You're so racist, you know.
You're a racist.
You're so racist. No, you are.
You're a racist.
You came here to scream.
Racist.
You came to scream.
I don't care what race you are. You're a fascist.
Okay, you're so racist. Doesn't matter who I support.
Big asshole.
Okay.
I know. You're not welcome. Go home, fascists. Go home, fascists.
This is Biden, you know.
Go home, fascists. Go home, fascists. Go home, fascists.
Huh?
Where are you from? Where are you from? Isn't that what you
Why doesn't matter?
all the time?
Why doesn't matter?
Well, because that's what you guys
I'm from
say.
Poland, from Europe.
So you hate Americans?
I love Americans. You guys hate
No,
Americans.
it doesn't look like it.
No?
I'm sorry. You need to. No.
You guys have a lot of hate, you know.
What Americans want.
A lot
No,
of
we
hate.
love people. In fact, we love immigrants. We love you,
Okay.
dude.
That's what most America voted for. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Motherfucker.
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
It's sad. It's okay. You can switch. It's okay.
Oh no, never.
Okay. Oh, never.
You can kill me and I won't switch.
I don't have to kill you, bro.
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay.
Have fun. Good luck with this, buddy.
If you're sitting around Googling how to make money.
What I'm saying is, I'm gonna open up the lines for a little bit for y'all to call in. This is crazy. It's crazy, man. It's just to seeing these older people act like this. Let me hit the line so y'all can call in. I want to know what y'all think, man. I want to hear y'all on the line for this. Like, people question that this is a money grab. I know universal basic income saying, how is this a money grab? It's a money grab to me. I like what Patrick said. It's a power grab. It's people that, I guarantee you that there are people that's working for these organizations and they're heads of the organizations, and they're trying to bring money in. They're trying to come out here and sign people up. You know, like this is a power grab for sure. But just to see the attitudes of these people, like, I don't know why we got people that's out there thinking that, you know, this is a fight for them. But they fighting for transgender. I asked the lady, I'm like, oh, how do you feel about the transgenders? Oh, we support the transgenders. We support, it's like everything Democrat they support.
On the internet and your ass is tired of being broke. Let me tell you what your parents.
I'm all for this guy. See, wearing even Trump hat.
You're a piece of shit. You know that.
Okay.
It's really sad.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, bro.
Why you wear mask?
The same magnet country.
Why you wear mask?
Because
When you're so proud, why you wear mask?
I'm proud to be a San Francisco native.
No, you're not proud. If you're proud, you show your face. Okay, here we go. Okay. Look at this person. Wow. He can't speak because he
I'm convinced these are just the weirdos, bro. Everybody you see, these are, you know, they rode the short school bus at school. Let me let them cook, man, before we call in.
The organ. Oh yeah.
You should be self-loathing, and you're just plain unattractive. Self-loathing.
Can I get a shot of you guys?
Yeah, no problem. Take a picture.
Yeah.
Why not? We are in public. Then you shouldn't come here. Look at this Marin following me. He's not blowing his.
But it's not. We're not seeing a lot of multicultural people. I mean, we're not seeing a lot of the black residents coming up and supporting this cause.
Orgasmica, yeah.
Either side. What's up, Cat?
Look at this guy. Why Nazi, sir? Why Nazi?
My flag, not Trump's flag.
Why you say that?
Because I fought for this flag in Vietnam. I didn't fight
Let's go.
Hey. Don't do that. Hey, shut the fuck up.
She fucking hit me. She hit me. I have on the video. I have on the video. Did you see that? She hit me.
Yo, they may pack him out. Like, I'm really thinking this dude may get hands and feet put on him. This may not end well for him. Let me check this out.
Yeah. Where's my hat? Your hat is in the trash. Move on. Okay. Fuck off! Fuck you!
Now get the fuck
Who
out!
are you, motherfucker?
Who am I?
Go the fuck out! Oh! Okay. You spit on me.
No.
Hey, you got a video? Okay.
You don't fucking touch it.
Okay.
You don't fucking touch it.
Let's get the police. Let's go to the police. Fucking bitch.
Don't touch me.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail. You spit on me. Yes, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. Get the fuck out. You're going to jail. I have you on the video.
I got the video.
You're going to jail. You spit in my face. That's an assault. Fuck off. Did you get that on the video? Yes. Did you get it on the video too? Okay, you got it. You get out. Don't touch me.
Quit touching her. Stop touching her. We all see what you're doing. You're trying to stop touching her.
I can't even get a video.
Stop touching her.
Keep
Is
recording.
that a black woman? I kind of think they hiding their faces because they getting paid. I feel like they hiding their faces for a reason.
Keep recording me. Keep recording.
Hey, quit touching people.
Oh yeah, it's such a fucking
Stop touching.
Oh, yeah. You guys, they spit on me. We're going to get the police right now. Come, let's go to police. Marco, let's go to the cops because she spit on me.
They spit on him. They took his hat. He lucky. They ain't want to really, but these people want to get violent with him. This is comedy, bro. This is comedy.
Come. Oh, fuck you. You're going to jail. I have you on the video. Going to jail. I press charges. I'm pressing charges. You too.
Hey, quit touching people. Quit trying to start fights with people.
Look at that.
Quit touching.
Keep recording because he say I touch people.
You gotta quit. You gotta quit touching. Hey,
get the fuck out. a picture together. Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! She spit on my face, guys. In my face. She spit in my face. Where is she? Where did she go? Oh, here she is. Okay, let's go. I need to, Marco. I need to talk to police. I need to talk to police. Come on. Yeah. So I want the press charges, guys. She spit on my face. Where is she? Show me the video when she spit on you. Show me now.
No, not right now because I have to.
Okay. Yeah. So it's her. She spit on my face, and she is with these people. Are you the security or who are you? What's your name? Doesn't matter. You spit in my face. I'm gonna press charges anyway. I have your video, and
she got a badge on.
He has the walkie-talkie.
What's your name?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck!
Take your mask off.
Let me take it.
Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you. Can you give me my hat? Yeah, hat. Yeah. So I have a new hat, guys. Let's go to get the cops. Why you have your mask on?
Because I don't want to.
I don't know if that was a man or a woman, but I don't know what that was. But when you dealing with the Democratic Party, y'all, they are pro-transgender. So it's like, it's crazy. But I'm with you, Mickey. I think he was there. I think he knew it was going to get him a lot of, he's probably there to instigate, you know, because he know they going to feel like this. But I ain't think these older people was this aggressive.
So guys, they took my hat, they stole my hat, they spit on me.
So they trying to have a flute bomb so he can't really hear, he can't really speak. The flute is annoying as hell. Like, I can't stand when people do annoying things, bro. Like, they just try to be annoying. We got him calling in. Let me hear what my boy Doge got to say with it. What is that, a man?
Doge.
What's up, Doge? What's good, family?
What's poppin', water guy?
Not much, man. Another day on these YouTube streets.
I see. So what's the ordeal out that way? Did you get paid?
What? Did I get paid?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get paid, you know, but it was random for me when I went out, the one that they had. I just seen the police and I seen people parking and I was just like, you know what, let me get some footage, you know. But I wasn't nothing like these guys. But
so you didn't see no baddies out there?
I didn't. I didn't at all. Seen a lot of transgenders though.
But there was a lot of grandma. What big albums you got?
Yeah, it was some grandmas out there for sure. Retired people.
And there was a granddad dressed as a grandma.
Yeah. Did you see any protests in your area where you at?
Nah, I don't go deep into the sanctuary cities like that, like into the zone like that. And I haven't even turned on local news in a hot minute, only for weather.
Gotcha.
So I don't, it's not even like that right here like that from what I see. Nothing like that. I'm not trying to find out.
So if somebody paid you to go to a Democratic function like this with a Trump hat on, how much they got to give you for you to do it?
For a cameo?
Nah, for you to walk through. You see what this guy doing? He walking through thousands of Democrats, lefties, left-wing people, and to wear a Trump hat and to walk through this. How much would somebody got to pay you for you to do that? Get spit on, get slapped.
For one night or for one day?
One day.
No, and I'm not a hoe. Nah, that's a short term. Nah.
Right.
I can't work like that.
Got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could somebody get you?
I want to be.
Right. Could somebody get you? Could somebody pay you to protest and stand out with a sign? Would that be something you may consider for the right
I'm
change?
a think tank.
Yeah.
I'm a think tank, and I'm more active. Like, I'm more active in other areas, like other activities, like living this life.
Right.
that don't concern me like that. Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm with you.
About.
I like hearing that. Man.
They gonna do what they gonna do on both sides. There's a lot of sick people on both sides.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree.
But at the same time, I think all that stuff right there is just a bunch of it's just a push for pedos, diddlers, things of that nature.
You said pedophiles?
Absolutely. See, this is like a big cocktail of a lot of stuff. You see the Gaza, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see the LGBTQ plus.
You're right.
You see illegals.
Yeah. Mexico. Yeah.
All right. And you basically the face of it is Hispanic. And what else you see? You see a lot of bunch of Caucasians out there.
Yeah.
Lower tier. Super mediocres.
So you saying these are the lower tier? These are all the you would say
mediocre.
Closer to the poverty line Caucasian people.
No, super mediocre. Like they ain't shit.
Okay.
They ain't shit.
Gotcha.
And so put that together, right?
Yeah.
What do they have? What does the LGBTQ have in common with Gaza? What does a Gaza have in common with a Mexican? What does a super mediocre Caucasian have in common with the Gaza?
Right.
A bunch of bullshit, paid distraction.
Paid distraction,
It doesn't make any sense. Get out of here. Get out this country. Get out this country.
Yeah. It's definitely all politics. All politics, man.
Yeah,
I don't think people care.
I don't.
Go ahead.
You don't see nobody into this stuff first and foremost because it's not shaping the culture of the world.
Right.
Say, for instance, the hip hop thing. They want hip hop in it so bad. They want FBA in it so bad. You know, if you look at things like that, hip hop, they pitch it toward that because this is the thing of shaping the lifestyle. It's not about the music, hip hop. The music is about the world influencing your haircuts, your walk, your talk, your everyday, how you dress.
Mm-hmm.
They want to definitely synchronize this. So they'll do anything. So that's why you have these men wearing purses.
Which
You
is
have
crazy.
you have these women of all different graphics asking for blue bags. Why? Hip hop. And so when you get the hip hop artists campaigning for these agendas,
Right.
eventually this could come into your home, into your everyday life.
So check
all
this
the
out.
above.
Doge, do you feel that why do they need black people? Why do they want to have black people out here pushing for all of these causes? I don't see many at all, but tell me, why do they want to get black people involved in doing this?
Because okay, for the agenda,
Yeah.
in this country, when things have been pushed to manifest into reality, some people might have an idea, the power of the idea. Not the money, but the power of the idea. And the Negro here found in the United States was able to physically put this into manifestation.
Okay.
Through others' ideas. So if you have a manifest destiny,
Right. So basically you saying that they want to manifest things because think about it. Kamala Harris ran for the Democratic Party. They had a lot of women, a lot of black women voted for Kamala Harris, right?
mm-hmm.
Those same black women are nowhere to be found out here. Why is that? I got Patrick on.
Okay, the same black women. What you mean?
The same black women that voted for Kamala Harris, that wanted her in office, they're nowhere to be seen now. Okay, why is that? I'm gonna let you finish this, and then you could go ahead and land your plane. I got Patrick coming in.
I don't know if they not seen now. There's a lot of weird women out there, weird women, but I don't know which. You got to give me a name of which ones that were, which one you talking about? Because I've never met any woman who was questioned for Kamala. I know black females. No.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Have you ever met any?
Have I ever met any women that wanted to vote for Kamala?
No, black females, black women
that wanted to vote for Kamala.
Yeah.
I knew a couple. Yeah, it's a lot of them that wanted.
That's what I mean, man.
Yeah.
See, don't do all that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know any. That's why. Yeah, I don't know of any. Yeah, most of Kamala's people who are really voting for her.
Right. The Democratic Party. These people who wanted to vote for Kamala. So.
She lost. You know why she lost?
Why?
And I want to be very clear.
Go ahead and finish this one and go ahead and land your plane. Go ahead.
She's because she's a woman.
She's a woman?
Country is not going to vote because she's a woman.
Okay.
There's no queens. There's no queens in this country. You're not doing that. and it's been obvious. You know, she was never going to win.
Gotcha.
She was never going to win. It was something bigger than Kamala, why they pushed it.
Okay.
Yeah, she had no time to prepare. There's no woman who's going to be a man in politics for the president. None.
I agree with that.
Not one.
I agree with that.
Not a white woman, not a black woman, not an Asian woman. No woman.
I mean, but I think
I think
eventually,
No.
Yeah.
I think people got to get that clear. Like, no, that's not going to happen. I know that there's males who want that, but that's why I don't even entertain that.
Well, it'll happen, but it's going to be artificial.
There's no evidence that
Yeah.
can even work out.
Exactly. I'm with you, Patrick.
Before I land my plane,
Go ahead.
what CEO you can name that is a female right now of a Fortune 500 company is running it well?
Dang. Yeah, I can't.
Name a notable one. See, the United States of America corporation, the name one.
Fortune 500. No, I can't
Don't you
name.
dare say Beyonce. Don't you dare say Taylor Swift. None of that stuff.
Yeah, we can't say that. There's
no woman.
Because women aren't.
So
they're not business.
Don't ever entertain that.
I got you.
Well, Beyonce's your black woman who told you to vote for Kamala. Remember that?
Yeah.
After she got paid $1 million. What about all the other performers?
Okay. Yeah. So Beyonce paid, right? Beyonce kind of co-signed Kamala Harris for $1 million. So that don't really count. You know what I mean?
Well, that's where all the support's coming from, you know? It's like, where do you get the legitimate, authentic support other than being paid, mental illness, or just being wholly uninformed of the matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, okay, well, we had our token black guy president. Now we need a token woman president. Well, I guess she turned black in the middle of the campaign, which was pretty amazing.
I agree.
So transracialism, that's a thing. Yeah. We live in a funny time, man.
It is a funny time. It is token presidents. And I felt like that about Obama. He was a token.
But at the same time, right? He had a presidential air to him. So when he spoke, he conducted himself in his public appearances. He looked and felt like a president should.
Yeah.
So when everybody voted for him 2 times in a row, I mean, nobody questioned the outcome of the election because they're like, well, obviously he won the people over. And that was it.
Sounds the part. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And but Trump doesn't sound the part, you know, to me. But he has more of he captivates people a lot more. You know what I mean? So it could go either way. You know what I mean?
Well, like the 2020 election, you know, before Bernie Sanders got unceremoniously booted off the platform. That was a presidential race for outsiders. And Bernie remaining true to his principles and Trump being Trump, that was really the election we should have had. Instead, you know, we got the same old thing just kind of shoehorned in there. And I think that really frustrated people on both sides of the aisle, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that. Travis said she lost because of her policies. She literally ran in abortion rights. Yeah, she ran on abortion rights for women. Yeah, that was a bad one.
I think her policy was, oh, the orange man said it, I'm against it.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the no tips on overtime, where she's like, yeah, no tips on overtime. Yeah. Trump said that last week. That is a good idea. I'm glad we agree on something.
Right. I like what Mickey said. We voted for her to try to keep him out, not her agenda. Oh man.
Well, Yeah.
I mean, I think Trump was just more of a, he said a lot more that kind of made sense, but
Yeah,
salute.
he's the billionaire who sounds like he was from the trailer park. And
Right.
so that identifies much better with
With people.
most Americans than the erudite, rich guy type,
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, Trev, we up late tonight, man. It's Saturday.
Yeah.
So what you think about these Make America Great Again guys walking through a whole bunch of Democratic protesters? How do you feel? Like, do you think that's, how do you feel about that, Patrick?
I think it's authentic. I think the
Yeah.
guys know what they're walking into, and
Yeah.
they want to capture the reaction of the ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you'll notice, like, during the presidential cycle we had, and
Mm-hmm.
you had all the, Democrats were in the pro Kamala, pro, whatever stuff in the Trump rallies, right? And they had the surprise of their life where, like, nobody was arguing or fighting them and offering them like beer and hugs and hot dogs and have a conversation with them. And it was a very, very different attitude,
Right.
So it's like you can almost make out one side as the 9 times out of 10 aggressor. If you're a betting man, that's where you put your money and you
Yeah.
come out ahead.
Yeah. He knew he was gonna get some. He knew he was gonna get some kind of reaction out of this. But we had you on the show last time, Patrick, and someone asked, "What do you think about reparations?" We want to get how you feel about that.
All right.
What's your opinion on that?
All right. So I'm gonna build up my case here.
Go ahead.
So I never held slaves. You were never a slave. Nor were our parents or grandparents or great grandparents. We have
Right.
no connection to this whatsoever. In
At all.
fact, the only thing that we know about this is what we
Right.
read from a history book. And we assume, we hope the history books are written honestly. We don't know that they are. Probably, maybe. So
Right.
the idea that this has any real effect on our lives, I don't get it and I don't buy it. Because whenever the pro-reparation arguments come up, in politics, it's always like, hey, black people, we need your vote. Reparations, we're going to dangle this in front of you. You need your 40 acres and a
I
donkey
agree.
or whatever it was, right? So all that is it's a political, emotional tool used to try to get voters to come to one particular side on something, and that side ain't going to give you shit for it anyway.
At all. Right.
So
Now, slavery, I get what you were saying with the slavery, but have you heard about the towns that was burnt down in the black community? Now, it's people that saying that, a lot of people died. Just kind of what you said with slavery. They were saying, look, a mob did burn down the towns, but all of the people are dead. So it's no money for us to give out. Like, how do you feel about that when justice don't prevail and it passes so much time that it's like, yeah, I mean, you don't deserve any money. Do you feel like all of these tragedies that we build up is just doesn't have to be paid because it was too long?
Well, I mean, this was I've got a lot of, I guess, social political theories I'm working on.
Right.
And this is one of the ones that I call the poverty of ancestry. The idea that you and I should have to be paid and or rewarded for the sins or good deeds of some people so far back that we have no connection to them whatsoever. It's mind-boggling that we should have to regress ourselves in such a mindset to be like, oh, well, I have to pay for something somebody else did 200 years ago. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay. I get where you're going, but think about it like this. What if you had land stolen for you? Let's say you had 40 acres, right? Or your family had 40 acres, right? It was stolen for you illegally, do you feel like you just lost, or you can't reclaim your land if you had paperwork for that land and that was yours? Do you feel like that land belongs to you because it was from your family?
Well, like if it was like by my family, meaning like my father, grandfather,
Your
somebody I'm
grandfather, your
attached
great
to.
grandfather, yeah, somebody stole it from them. Now they're
Yeah.
on your land. Do you feel like you are owed to get your land back that was for you, that was taken, but it was so long ago? Would you say, I'll just let y'all have it? How would
I
you
mean,
go about it?
it's not so much that I can say I'll let y'all have it because it was never mine to claim in the first place. Land is always something that's taken one way or another through legal means, through war, through theft, through sales. It transfers all the time. And this is one of these things that, because of the passage of time, it's rendered meaningless and irrelevant because, again, we have no attachment to that. These are our ancestors who had some kind of disagreement over it, and what happened happened. And even if the property would have, say, stayed or changed as it were supposed to have, who's to say that it would still be in our favor as it is now? Who's to say that the other grandfather wouldn't have sold it and pissed all the money away gambling, and we're still lost with, left with nothing?
Right. So basically, you're saying, do you agree with how they send money to what was that little area in that we were beefing with in Russia when we was in the Russia? I forget the name of the country where the guy came and we donated billions and billions of dollars from him. I think it was like 150 billion. What's the name of that country? It got ties to Israel. Okay, I can't. Do you agree with the money that's been sent out of the country to help other causes?
Yes and no. I'm not principally against it, and I'm not principally for it. If the cause is something that kind of makes the betterment for the nation, or it's like an altruistic cause that really, benefits people, tsunami victims, for example, and another area we're helping them get their life back together. I think those are good uses of money. But using money to buy power, prestige, access, favorability, no, I'm principally against that.
Gotcha. So
Where do you feel on that, though?
What, the money that's being shipped out?
Yeah.
I feel like we have to take care of America. Like, just like you're saying, with not paying for, the things that's done, because I don't think it means you have to pay. I just think it's an obligation for the government. I feel like the government's job is to make sure justice is, going through equally. So whenever you drop the ball as the government, I think you have to pay for, the wrongdoings that a mob did or anybody did. I think that, it's on your hands. Not saying you as a person, like, okay, all of the citizens have to pay for it. I don't feel like it should be like that. I feel like it should come out of, it's the government's responsibility. That's just my opinion. But I think it's deeper than slavery, because with the 40 acres and a mule, like you said, that was something that was promised, right?
Yeah, it was promised by one group of people to another group of people, and neither of which exist anymore.
Right. Neither of those people exist anymore. So we see the wealth gap, though. We see what all of these years of this stuff that happened, our people went from, like, I think we lost 90% of our farmland from 1920. So we down to only, we had the most farmland in the 1920s, we owned the most farms. And now looking at the wealth gap, and if you can look at a Black American to a white American right now, I think it's like 100,000 more, something like that. So do you feel like this came from a lot of that in the past, or do you feel like where we at right now is just coincidence? It's just,
No, it's not coincidence, and I don't think that's even part of the equation, honestly, here. You ever read any of Thomas Sowell's work?
I checked out a little bit of it. Yep, I didn't read his books, but I heard him speak on some of his situation. I mean, some of his opinions on how he feels about reparations.
Yeah. So he's I think we're blessed to have one of the greatest thinkers in the world in Thomas Sowell right here, with us in the US. And that's a great thing because these are things that I think he's really thought a lot about, put a lot of work, research, and just thought into. Now, I guess I go more with kind of the Thomas Sowell train of thought where it's the social welfare programs that ended up destroying the Black community more than anything else, because that created the environment incentivization for, you know, um, fatherless homes, women who don't develop themselves mentally, physically, socially, or anything to, make a better life for themselves, a better example for their children, and government give me everything. And I understand it is the stereotypes, but like growing up, that is the stereotype that I had seen all the time. And not to say that that's specific to one community, but you went back from, I think it was probably the 50s and 60s, and you look at, families that stayed together, kept their money together, and really worked through their problems more. I mean, that was the Black community with the lowest divorce rate, you know, um, the best opportunities for their children, and that their kids would have a better life than they would. So it was really the example of how to run a family correctly. And then politics got involved in there. And I think it sharply went downhill from there. Because the one thing I see within politics as a whole, I guess within this country and the world itself is um, the more our government leaves any group of people alone, the more they flourish.
I agree with that, especially with coming. So you on the Thomas Sowell, and in the Black community, Thomas Sowell, he's not really. I mean, it's like split. People are not. They feel like Thomas Sowell. In our community, we have a lot of people that we feel that just like these paid actors that we see that come out for the, we feel that there's a lot of people that when you get a Black face and you pay them and they talk points that fit the narrative to, where the money's at instead of, kind of like an influencer, right? So are you familiar with experiments that was done on Black people?
Yeah, the was it started with a T? Not Tunguska, that was in
Tuskegee?
Russia. Tuskegee, yes. I always
Yes.
get my letters mixed up. Yeah, that was fucked up.
Got you.
Um,
Yeah, that was
yeah,
messed up.
yeah. That,
But it was also the MK Ultra. Okay, guys who
that
were in
was
prison,
mhm,
they used these people, and they did a lot of backdoor experiments on poor people. And this is why I feel like it's a benefit of having extremely poor people, because they'll do things that someone that has money or well off, they won't make the same decisions. You can
mhm.
agree on that, right?
Yeah. And this is
Yeah.
the whole reason for wanting to keep the illegals in the country, because they want a second class subservient people who will work for next to nothing. And they know if they try to fight for their rights, they're going to get kicked out of the country. So they have no means to defend themselves. This is why the Democratic policies are demanding that illegals stayed here. This is also why Democrats waged a civil war to demand that Black people still remained property and not human beings. It's the same shit from the same group of people.
Okay. So if right now, if we switch, right, and it wasn't a pool of Black people that wasn't wealthy, right?
Mhm.
Can you see a lot of money that's being lost? because I did a report on my channel that says prisons make $400 billion a year. If we eliminate poverty from the Black community, do you feel like a lot of the system would lose a lot of money, or do you feel like it would just another day?
Yeah, the system itself will lose money, and it's going to have to, unfortunately, figure out another way to make money. Because that's the
Right.
thing with corporations, right? They can't just stand up, make enough money to live well, or make the same amount of money they made last year. They have to continually grow. And if it's a public company with shareholders, they're actually legally obligated to do that, and they can be personally, legally, and financially held responsible if they don't do it. So it's kind of a sick system we have.
Right.
And the whole private prison thing, man, it's
Scary,
it's
right?
scary, man, and it's disturbing. It's like, okay, I think most people can agree that, um, people that, want to abuse, women in that way. You got murderers and people who want to mess with children. Yeah, that they need to be removed from society. A guy who had a couple plants in his car, no, leave him the fuck alone. This isn't benefiting anybody.
Right. I'm
You
with you
know.
on that. But you said, right, nah, like those people don't deserve reparations or anything, right? But we kind of see that by a group of people being poor and being at the bottom, we see the advantages that the system can take of them. You get what I'm saying? So it kind of, one would think this is a good place to have, Black people, because if they were, we give them reparations and we teach them literacy, it would be a big gap as far as the money that could be generated off of poor people. You get what I'm saying? Kind of goes with the narrative. Like, if I don't want to give them I don't want to pay nothing for them, because the system that's working right now is working. We got police officers, we got probation officers, we got,
No,
it's crime
I guess.
everywhere. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that the system's not working. I'm not sure what the solutions should be. I'm very free to admit my ignorance in this, where you can realize, um, yeah, a lot of people don't have that opportunity at upward mobility, as many people should. But for me, my view on that is much, much more jaded. When I
Right.
see a person like begging on the side of the street, I get pissed off at them. I don't ever feel any pity for them anymore. Zero. I just frustration. Now, what
Right.
has colored my perspective on that is, you know, I've lived out of the country a couple of times. I speak more than one language, and I've had a chance to travel. And, I've lived in actual third world countries that have actual real poverty, which is
Mhm.
basically non-existent here in the US, except for maybe a couple areas, in Appalachia, where you have a system as flawed as it is. There's a capability to get food, to get services, and to at least try to do something with yourself. Most places in the world, that's not a reality. Um, so it's like, I'm looking at this scene that there are tools out there for people to be able to use to make a better life. And for whatever reason, um, they're not using them to their advantage. And I
Got you.
can't I can't say, that I know what the reasons are, because some reasons are like, mental illness. Maybe they weren't taught about this. Maybe they actively fight against it. I I don't know what the answers are in that sense. You
Right.
know what I mean? But the opportunity is there. You just have to make the effort and go for it.
To go for it. Have you
Mhm.
ever, is there any places that you went where you didn't see any poverty? Or do you know a group of people that their their culture doesn't have poverty at all?
Um, when I was in both Japan and Korea, they do a better job at hiding their poverty. So like if you're walking around like Seoul or Tokyo, sorry,
Mhm.
there's a motion light in this room here.
Gotcha.
And
You
I'm
gotta
sitting in
move
a
a little
dumb
bit.
spot, so it turns
No,
off
you
every
good.
couple minutes.
Go ahead.
Not trying to run away from you, trust me. Um, so they do a lot to hide it. And they also offer a lot more services for people to um, kind of get cleaned up and get back to working again. And one thing I've noticed about poverty there, for example, or even like in South America where I've lived and over in Philippines and Southeast Asia, um, the difference between their poverty and what we have here is you have people with low education and no money. And the thing that really defines our real poverty over here is mental illness most of the time, but not all the time.
Okay.
And so it's very different groups of people, where you could say most of the time here it's poverty, and over in Asian countries in South America, it's just the minority of the times.
Gotcha. How about
And
this?
Mhm.
You was in the you was in Asia,
Mhm.
and they received reparations for the World War One, and I don't know if it was World War One or two, but they received reparations, right?
Who does?
Uh Japan received reparations from the bombing of the, the bombing of their country. Do you
Correct.
believe that was even the Jewish people receive reparations? Do you believe they should have received reparations? Do you believe that was justified?
I think so, because I think dropping the bombs was unnecessary. And I
Right.
think that politically, our leaders were aware that the Japanese were at the point of surrendering anyway. And so it was an unnecessary escalation. Um, which, I mean, when you drop big bombs like that, the only thing you can manage to do is hit civilians. That's all you can do. That's not a surgical thing where you're only hitting a couple military installations.
Right. So they got
I mean,
bombed. The area got bombed. So you feel
yep,
like that justifies for them getting reparations for their people and stuff like that. Because it got their land got terrorized, where it got bombed
right,
away is nothing.
right. And it's also, I also, in that sense, yes, but also because it's within living memory. There are the people that were affected by that are still alive today. Maybe not so many because it's been a little while, but the actual people affected by it, yes.
Right. So you saying if it would have been some years later, if it would have been where the people wasn't affected, they wasn't due that
Mhm.
reparations, right?
No, I would say no because of the time.
Right.
So,
So
the event, I think, in my mind, qualifies for the reparations, just like the event of slavery qualifies for reparations. However, those people that were affected by it, in one example, they're still alive. And another one, I mean, they're 3, 4, 5 generations gone.
right. So you got to think like, all right, that
Mhm.
same bombing that happened to Japan, right?
Mhm.
We got massacres that was right here on the land. I don't know if you heard about Wildwood, Florida. I'm in Florida right now. And there's
Mhm.
a town in Wildwood. They put out a movie about that. I don't know if you've seen it, but you should probably check
Mhm.
it out.
Mhm.
Where the whole town, it was a town that was, prevalent. The
Mhm.
whole town got destroyed. They had one in North Carolina. I don't know if you heard about Tulsa, Oklahoma, where they actually was dropping bombs on these cities, and they kind of like, These towns were just diminished right here in America.
Damn.
And I know that some people, like you said, hey, you know, it was a long time ago, but it's kind of the same similar situation as Japan. You get what I mean? So why would I mean, and that was a war, but what I'm saying is some people would say it was a war on, you know, poverty with black people as well during these times. So if somebody could prove to you that a town that was prosperous was bombed, I mean, you know, burnt down intentionally, would that make you understand and be like, yeah, now this is seeming a little, you know, I can see the Japan and the similarities to what they're saying here. They got paid, these guys didn't. It looks weird. If
Well, it's
those
like,
facts are there for you.
I mean, okay, I can follow along. I can work with this. So, you know, if some event happens, a bunch of, people are targeted, a bunch of black folks are targeted in a couple cities, all their shit's wiped away. And let's just say it happened last year, right?
Right.
And they're gone, their family's gone. It's a properly evil event. Um, some dude who's a rancher out in Wyoming who just happens to be black. Why are we giving him a reward for something that happened to somebody else that looked like him? You know what I mean?
But then it should be the same. If that's true, right? It should be the same. I think we should have that same tragedies that happen to people to where they didn't get paid. So it's like if someone is bringing a similarity where other people that had tragedies, you know, Holocaust got paid, the Japanese got paid. I don't know of any other tragedies, but these are the ones that we see similar. It's hard for me to see that, you know, if they took too long, maybe it was purposely. You know, maybe it was like, okay, why would this guy get paid? But we don't want to pay him. We don't want to pay him anyway. I mean, that's why we did it, right? You know, so it's like, it's still a win for the people who committed the act. You get what I'm saying? If you weren't accountable, it's like, damn, that's like saying that, okay, you could do something and don't be held accountable and you shouldn't benefit, but he would have benefited if right would have happened. If you would have did it in the right amount of time, the kid would have benefited, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it would make sense to me that it was intentionally stalled so nothing would happen. So I mean, I think, I think that's the right argument, for your case, right? Where it's like, yeah, they knew they had to do it, but they just kept dragging their feet until eventually it never got done. And I don't know if there is a solution for that, right?
Right.
I obviously a great evil was done. Nobody disagrees with that. But again, it was a evil committed by people to people that we have no connection to. I mean, we just happen to share some of their genetics and live on the same land that they did, 150, 200 years ago.
150, yeah. Probably, yeah.
You know?
Not, I mean,
It's
because
just
we going at stuff that was from 1920s, you know, to the 30s. So we probably talking about 100 years, you know, as far as what I say. But there's other things that too that they can bring up, like the redlining. It's the intentional reason to stop a group of people from obtaining wealth too. So
right.
I don't even bring up slavery because it's nothing. I'm talking about the intentional tactics that was used to make it to how it is today with the wealth gap. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was somewhere was in the 60s. It was some things that was in the 70s. Because, you know, if they took you to prison right now and you was wrongly convicted and you did 60 to 70 years, you know, they're going to compensate you. You know what I mean? For injustice. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, this was done to you. You were, you know, I had you in jail, but DNA came out. It wasn't you. I apologize. Here's $2
Yeah,
million. You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah, and that's a system wrongfully persecuting me. But they're not going to say, yeah, you know, the grandpa that you never met, yeah, we did something to him. We shouldn't have. Here's some money.
I think that's a good defense. I think that's a great defense to have too. You know, I think if you use that, it's a good selling point. You know, I feel like that's a good, it's a good selling point. But when I bring it to land, if I say, hey, we had some land stolen from us, it's like hard for you to say, hey, yeah, that's my grandpa's land that's supposed to be mine, but somebody illegally stole it. The government didn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
It just is, it's kind of
Yeah. And that went from great.
government.
Yeah, it went from great grandpa to dad and now to me. And you're like, it's like, legally there's a reason for, statute of limitations on crimes, right? Because it's like the time has passed, it's been so long, where it's been 7 years, whatever, nobody bothered to prosecute, the guy for, I don't know, taking whatever he took and it was on video camera, and it's just kind of let bygones be bygones. And I don't think it justifies the event from, the bad event itself from happening, but it's just like that was the past and we're now in the present and we have to concern ourselves with things in the present. So it's like I can't disagree that bad things happened in the past, but they happened to other people and not us. And had those bad things not happened, would our lives be different? Maybe. But maybe not, because maybe it was other choices and decisions done generationally that will affect us more. There's kind of an argument of, the baby boomers may be the selfish, worst, and most disconnected generation ever. And because of their actions, them being our parents, we're going to have substantially worse lives because of their actions, their entitlements, and the capability for them to, have that Homer Simpson lifestyle where you're kind of a dunce, but as long as you keep going to work, you can still afford to feed your family, have a house and a car. That's not reality anymore. You got to be having, both parents working or somebody, who's a higher than average earner, to even get to these things anymore, right? Our parents were able to go to college by just doing a part-time job and go to college and get everything paid for. We're out 4, 10, 12 years worth of debt for a 4-year degree if we're lucky. So it's like the decisions and selfishness and entitlement of that generation has actually made our life substantially worse, I think more so than preceding events.
Okay. Gotcha.
So it's just, I don't know, it's just there are so many factors I think to consider, to try to control for, to say, if this one little thing changed, I'd be better. Maybe.
Right,
And again,
right.
who's to say your dad wouldn't have squandered the wealth and resources and you didn't have anything, It's a common story.
Yep, yep. But what about this? I'm gonna bring you this stat before I let you land your plane.
Just when we're having
Inher-
fun. You're trying to
right,
kick me off.
having fun. No, inheritance. We talked about that. You was like, the great grandpa. You didn't know him, but that's a direct link from what you're saying. It's a direct link to what happens today. So it says, this is just what I pulled up. Racial disparities exist in inheritance patterns in the U.S., with white families historically receiving larger or more frequent inheritance than black families. This contributes to the racial wealth gap through other factors like lifetime earnings and wealth accumulation strategies also play a significant role. Well, it says black individuals are much less likely to receive any inheritance or gifts. Black recipients receive smaller amounts and have a much lower probability of extremely large transfers. So if we talk about what you were saying, like if it did transfer, right,
Mhm.
that wouldn't be there. Would you agree?
I don't know if it would or wouldn't be there. And that's the thing where I come back to of there being too many variables. Like in my example, right? So when my family immigrated over here to the US, we all
From
came
what
over here,
country?
Slovenia.
Slovenia. Okay.
Yep, it used to be like a state of at the time Yugoslavia, but Yugoslavia no longer exists. The Balkans broke apart, and now it's its own thing. But anyways, so when my family came over, my grandfather was an engineer at NASA, and he oversaw like the Saturn V boosters and a lot of stuff like that. He did extremely good for himself. And I'm as stereotypical poor white trash born into nothing in the trailer park as you can get.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's like you can have one generation do exceedingly well, not pass on the skills and knowledge and wealth to the next generation or the next generation. And so I've had to learn to rebuild everything else up, just on my own,
Mhm.
making a whole lot of mistakes, tripping over myself, losing money, losing time, um, losing everything, gaining, losing again. But that's just kind of the struggle of life.
Mhm.
Um, and I've learned again, um, coming from that life, just you got to figure out, I guess you have to understand the employee and employer relationship, right? Where as an employer has an employee um, because they're going to make them money. So whatever skill, time, labor, anything you do must necessarily be profitable to the employer, or else you don't have a job. And you sit back and think about that from the uh, job creator, the business owner, whatever's perspective, right? You think about it from their perspective, and then you realize, okay, I need to get myself a trade, a skill, some kind of knowledge that not many other people have, then I can be much more competitive in the marketplace, right? So you say, well, I'm really good at flipping hamburgers. That Earth has 8 billion people, 7 billion of them flip hamburgers. You're not going to get shit because who are you competing against? Everybody. And I guess in kind of a long roundabout way is we have the opportunities here to make as many mistakes as we can before we get it right to kind of pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. And I guess I'm personally a hard sell on, well, all the whites are going to do it and they have, the better advantages, and the blacks are going to historically this, that, and the other. I don't
Right.
buy that argument because it's the bigotry of low expectations. I can't look at somebody and say, well, because you have darker skin, obviously you're not going to make as much money in your life. I
Mm.
don't ever think that's an argument. And in fact, those type of arguments infantilize and demoralize people more than they help them,
Okay. Okay.
if that makes sense.
Definitely. I mean, I understand your point of view, but I think it's more it's more of a general point of view from
Mhm.
that's I think that we get from a lot. I think I had another one of my guys on and
Mhm.
said something general to what you're saying. Is basically like, yeah, it's no, is there any evidence that could change your mind to make you feel like reparations is present? What information that you could get that you would be like, you know what, if I got this makes me feel that this is due. Is there any information that could change your mind?
Um, I'm open-minded enough to take a look at whatever you can offer, definitely.
Right.
I mean, I'm not so rigid, but I'm going to be stuck in my beliefs. But I have come to my beliefs because I have considered and thought about them, and I
Right.
am working off of my own evidence. and also having lived in third world countries where abject poverty is a real thing, and people can't just, you know, uh, work harder and smarter to get themselves out of bad situations where um, people can here. You know, there might be that 1 out of 100 that can't do it, but I don't think that, one's race or ethnicity is any sort of limiting factor to it. I think it's
Okay.
more of your determination and grit than not.
I'm glad you said that, because somebody in the chat, they put, and this is a good one. The war on drugs, right?
Yes.
I don't know if you know about Gary Owens. He did
I know.
he did a study, and he proved that the CIA was a part of the cocaine being shipped to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
that
their
was in
planes
the
have
80s.
crashed in Florida too.
Yeah. Crashed in Florida.
Yep.
So I would believe, because I was born in the late 80s, and I believe that it was majority of drug dealers that was coming, and they were African American. Now, I know that these guys weren't never trained, or nobody took them to that country and, I'm not going to say trained, but I believe they could have been programmed. But it just was a reason that a lot of these guys got jailed. Like I was jailed for marijuana, a flower, right? That now is legal. Right. So what I'm saying is we look at organizations and we look at these psyops that they put down. And once we look at it 20 years later, we're like, oh, they got us. They did it again. The crack cocaine era, right? Now we looking at it and we looking at the gangs and we like, hold on. How did these gang stuff is, seems like it comes from another culture. What I'm saying is, if you felt true that marijuana was a political prisoner scheme and, to keep wealth down, same was cocaine was put into black communities. All right.
I thought it was the crack, not the cocaine. I thought that was the delineation where just all the white guys doing coke, so they were treated less poorly than all the blacks doing crack, even though
Exactly.
chemically it was the same thing,
It was
just
the same
packaged
thing.
differently.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Obama changed that too. He changed it
Thanks,
to where, where it was
thanks,
fair.
Obama, right?
Yeah. I mean, he did something, right? But that's all I'm saying is we feel that there were really some psyop programs that was designed, to kind of hold a community back, which I don't think you would understand as much as someone that's coming, from that community and experienced it, seen it, and it's like scratching their head. I think more you're looking at it from the outside in, but we seeing things like, more in depth. So we're like, yeah, this was a program ran on a community, more than what you don't see it the same way. So I feel like you would need more information and more understanding, because I think they can kind of use it to where it's kind of hidden, where if you're not into it, it's kind of like Gary Owens. I think he got killed. Are you familiar with him?
The name
Gary
sounds
Webb.
familiar.
Not Gary Owens. I'm sorry. Gary
Yeah,
Webb.
the name sounds familiar, but I can't really place it. But I do remember the stories of the CIA airplanes coming out of Colombia, bringing coke here back into the US. And I know at least one time, maybe twice, the planes had crash landed into Florida and local authorities picked them up. I do
Right.
recall that. I also do remember living in Central America and seeing one of the makeshift airports that they use to get the planes off the ground.
Okay.
So I've seen that aspect of it too.
Right. So you familiar with the coke transfers, huh?
That's all I got. That's all I got, Uncle
You was
Sam.
friends with Pablo, man. You
Hey, if I'm going to use my white privileged card to get out of trouble, I'm using it right now.
Hey, Patrick, man, look, we just to hear your opinion and your side of it, so now we know, how to tailor it. Appreciate you just being honest. A lot of people don't even
Yeah.
can't even speak and be honest with that, you know. And
well,
I see where you're coming from. You know, I don't agree with
And I
it,
get
but
you.
I feel that, you know, you speaking
And
genuine from what you know.
yeah, and I get you too, right? And this is I guess this is kind of what the uh classic debate and discussion is supposed to be, where it's
Mhm.
like, okay, there's an issue, we're going to discuss it. We agree on some, it's like, I think we both agree on the premise, right? So if the premise is framed that Black folks historically in the US have been treated like shit, we both agree on the premise.
Yeah.
Now, certain details and ways about going about fixing it or not fixing it, maybe we're lost in the minutia, but overall we agree on, I guess kind of the main culprit of it, the issue itself, right? And it is important for us to always have the civil conversation, agreeing and disagreeing, because it's the only way we make progress to fixing things and making a better life for our kids, not for ourselves. Because
Right.
no matter what kind of details we try to put in and make life better, it needs to make their life better, not
Yeah.
ours. I mean, we hope it does, but really it needs to be for them.
Yeah, it's for the people that's coming behind us. Yeah. I agree.
And that's what it is. If there's going to be anything we as humans do in life, to be successful parents, is to make the world a better place for our children.
Facts. Facts. I agree with you on that. Definitely
So,
agree with you on that.
but it's good to have the disagreements and then go out for a beer afterwards.
Yeah.
Because we're just all fucking people in the same,
Listen, I feel like they're doing the same to even your people or any people. Everybody is in the same pimp, but it's just we understand that it's a cycle and a plan that they're running, like with cocaine and marijuana. It's like we're seeing the grunts of it in our community that we can say cocaine deserves reparations. You know what I mean? I mean, for you jailing people and overcharging them, we can say marijuana. We can just, we can go to the 70s and the 80s where, our leaders got killed and they say the government was wiretapping them and it was just weird things going on. And why is the government wiretapping these guys and they get killed? So it's a lot of circumstances that we feel that's not coincidental. It's on purpose. And it's the reason why, things are where we at right now. When we do feel like we can come together and do it ourselves, but just knowing the history, just like with anybody, you just want justice for your, justice for what the company's been, for what the government has been doing. That's all.
I guess I guess kind of a point of thing is when we lead into the idea with the word reparations, it's a loaded term that automatically assumes slavery explicitly and nothing else. But then when we talk about, other injustices done and being compensated for it, I think that's much more agreeable without the term reparations, just because it's charged to one specific event and nothing else. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's just that's just kind of where it sets,
Right.
And it might be the right word, but just I don't know. It's hard to use that word outside of that context.
Yeah, it throws people off. I get you. It throws them off when we talking about something that is just so complex that is like, it's hard to just tie it to that. But man, I'm with
So
you.
yeah. So I mean, if there is something, I'm being rude here, man. You're trying to get me out of here. I'm just
Go
gonna
ahead.
talk your ear off all night long, brother.
Go ahead. Finish up. Go ahead and land your plane. Finish what you was gonna say. I want you to get that thought off because it seemed like it was coming from. It seemed like it was coming from some wisdom. I don't want to cut your wisdom. Go ahead.
Wisdom. Yeah, you're looking at the wrong guy. You're looking at this white in my beard and assuming something that ain't there.
Right. But go ahead and get that. Go ahead and get that thought off, man, before you land your plane.
So I guess if we if we look at, some particular events and think, okay, maybe there needs to be some reparations, some payment, repayment, some compensation. Um, I wonder if does it necessarily have to be like money, a fixed amount of money, a certain percentage of money? Because I know a lot of people bring it back to like, okay, well, if you adjust for inflation and this, that, and the other, and the value of this should be arbitrarily $100,000. Okay. You got X amount of melanin in your skin, you get $100,000. Congratulations. Um, it's like, okay, so you know, everybody gets their 100K.
Right.
Um, is that necessarily going to improve their lives? And what about the children that come after them? Because if our grandparents would have gotten that money, would that still have benefited us today?
If it would have been in certain vehicles, I'm gonna give you one,
Yeah.
right?
hmm
In Johnny Cochran. I don't know if you know about Johnny Cochran, right?
Yep. If the glove don't
He
fit, you got to quit.
You gotta quit, right? So Johnny Cochran, he helped the Anniston, Alabama Black community.
Mhm.
It was companies that was pouring chemicals into their water supply. A lot of people got sick, a lot of people died.
Mhm.
He won them a judgment of $300 million, right? But when they got the 300, I think from lawyers and courts, they got
Mhm.
like 150 million, and the people got 150 million. It was 18,000 people, and it was like $9,000 a piece, right?
Yeah, it's
After that, once all of that money got distributed, it went to nothing, right?
yep.
Looking at that, I always say on my channel, if we would get any lump sum of money, it can't go like that. It has to be grouped together, because that 150 million is 150 million. 9,000 is $9,000, between a lot of people. It's
Mhm.
nothing. So what I'm saying is there have been instances, like you saying, when people go to jail illegally, when people put poison in people's water, they get compensated.
Mhm.
It's happening. It's things that happen to blacks where they compensated. If they were compensated right, is up to, that's up to everybody else. But
Yeah, no, $9,000 for poison in the water. No,
right.
I'm
So,
looking at so I guess this is kind of where I swing a little bit more on the radical end, um, where it's like, okay, whatever the assets of that company had, they're entirely liquidated, and all the people who made that decision to poison, prison.
mm,
I don't, because when they're like, well, the company paid $300 million, I assume they're still in business and everybody still has their assets and everything is business as usual. So that's called the cost of doing business. Perversely, that's not really a punishment if they can do a thing and just keep operating as normal. And maybe they just, you know, don't buy as many yachts at the end of the year. That's not a
and,
punishment.
and
That
I'm
doesn't
glad,
fix anything.
right. I'm glad that you say that, because what's the name of the company that does the shots?
Pfizer?
Pfizer. Pfizer was the one who was the company that was behind the poisoning of the water. That was one of the main companies. Changed the
Mhm.
name or whatever, but they're the parent company of Pfizer. So,
Mhm. They've
like you
had a
said, it's
long history of that.
a long history of doing some
Mhm.
illegal things. So that was crack. Did you get the jab, Patrick?
Fuck no.
No.
No. I
Right.
I actually believe that I got COVID in 2019 when I was in Japan.
Right.
So, and that was long before it came here to the US. And so when I was over in Japan, I don't speak any Japanese. I just, um, so I speak Spanish. And surprisingly, there's a lot of South American people there in Japan. So, I go up to them and ask directions or information. because Japanese won't speak any English with you because they're like too embarrassed, they don't want to make a mistake or sound silly. Okay, that's fine. And then the Chinese people. Now, you could put a Japanese man next to a Chinese man. There's no way you can confuse the two. They entirely different groups of people. And so when I'm in Tokyo, I'm like, you're Chinese. I know you speak English. So I just run up to them and ask them questions, about like a restaurant or getting on the bus or my stop, just basic communication stuff, right? And I'm in the trains, this public transit, in and out of all the restaurants or shopping. I'm just being, social guy, right? In a little city that has like 3 million people in the size of a shoebox, or 30 million, I think it is.
Okay.
Anyways, so this was at the time where they were putting, where they were getting people that were on cruise lines that were getting very odd sicknesses that they couldn't explain, and they weren't allowing the cruise ships to come back into the harbor. So they were keeping all the people out there on the ocean away from the population, thinking, this is not a coincidence. Why are we getting thousands and thousands of people sick at one time with this thing? And the one thing I remember from getting sick from that immediately is I had a metallic headache. You ever get hit in the head, it's like a piece of metal, a bat, you're just playing around with it or something. You got that ringing in your head, that kind of metal aluminum hollowness. Um, that's what my head felt like for like 2 days. And I was just, like disoriented, out of it, and just all the other, COVID symptoms of coughing and like that. But I guess I had too much work to do, so I just forgot about being sick. And then I guess I just got over being sick. Just didn't have time to be sick anymore. But I do remember that distinctive headache from it. And, I talked to other people who, had the same thing I did. And I was like, this might just be like, I don't know, a weird fever cold thing that's going around. This is not the zombie apocalypse that's going to be killing millions and millions of people that they're advertising. Because I already had the shit and I remember what it felt like because I got the very, very first strain of it that came out of the lab when I was over there. And
Mm.
so I was like, this is bullshit. Wait, okay, so they're making a thing that doesn't prevent you from getting it. It doesn't stop the transfer. This is not this is not a vaccine. This is not the definition of a vaccine. So they had to change the definition of a vaccine, of something that confers some type of immune response. Like that's not what a vaccine's supposed to do. It's supposed to make it so you don't get the sickness. And I guess long story short, having been affected by it very, very early on there and watching the media and everything, I'm like, I've went through this. These people are just fucking lying to me the whole way through. And there's no way that someone just kind of came to market with a way within a couple months to try to get rid of this illness, because that's not the way vaccine trials and double-blind placebo tests, that's not the way this stuff works. So I had no faith and no trust in them whatsoever. And I was just like, no, there's no way I can get this because I can only see lies coming at me from every direction.
Right, but you
And
do see that you feel like it was made in the lab, correct?
it was not a natural type of sickness that I had.
Right. Right. So you
And
know it wasn't natural and you feel
Mhm.
that it was done in malicious intent, right?
See, I don't know the intent. Now, the idea that maybe the company was trying to create some super viruses so they can make
I mean, we
some
talking about
super
Pfizer.
treatments to sell. Yeah.
We talk about
Ex-
Pfizer. Like these companies
Yep.
aren't shit. They ain't shit, bro. Like, you know what I
I know.
mean?
So I'm playing out multiple scenarios in my head at one time. So, um, was, the evil megavirus made? Yeah, obviously it was. Was it made maliciously? I think so, because I think doing something just for the sake of making money that's going to hurt a lot of people, I think that is malicious intent, personally. Um, do I think it was maliciously or accidentally released? I'm not sure. Maybe it wasn't ready for prime time just yet because the treatment wasn't ready for it, and maybe it got out too early. Maybe it got out on time. Um, I think in some ways this is another one of my theories I'm working on is I think that China may have acted in good faith regarding COVID more than any other country because genetically that did hurt people of East Asian descent more than anybody else. And so, like, East Asian people, quite a few of them actually died from the sickness itself. And it fucked up my wife really, really good. Whereas for me and most other people I knew, it was just kind of an inconvenience at most.
Right.
So
So
you remember they went through all the efforts of locking the cities down, welding gates shut, keeping people isolated. Everyone was in the beekeeper suits. I think they understood what was actually happening, realizing that it was affecting them disproportionately more than anybody else. So they took extreme measures to not lose extreme amounts of people.
right, but it seems like you giving these higher ups and these big companies a way out. I feel like we have to hold them accountable.
Oh, we do.
This
We
is
do.
why we get to this point where they're doing all of this because they think they can just pay some money and then it's done. But it's our lives and us and things that we're going through that we suffer. So just like I feel like anything that's done, I want to hold these people accountable. So I feel like it was done with malicious intent. I feel like it was done with money generating because it cost us to get these shots. They're taxing the people. This is coming out of the tax dollars.
Right.
Us getting these shots and it's a money grab. Everything I think it's a money trail to the money. And I feel like if we don't hold them accountable, they're going to keep doing plays just like they doing on our community, on everybody. And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse, That's my opinion.
Yeah,
But
I agree with you entirely. I just don't know if it was released intentionally or accidentally. And by accidentally, I mean maybe it was supposed to be released in 2 years from that date instead of the date that it was actually released on.
right. But if we know if it's a little bit of wrongdoing there, they have to be held accountable. Because
I
these
agree.
guys are at the highest form and they're dealing with millions of lives.
Yeah.
And I think that we really got to put the hammer down on people like that. And this is why I think we're at this point right now where we got transgenders because we letting them slide with what they doing to the Black community. We let them slide and we let them do all of that. And then it's just like, okay, we're just going to go out here and just be monsters. So it's like, until we can hold higher ups accountable, we're fucked.
Yeah. I'd say a down low brother is the least Black man I've ever met.
Down low, brother.
Hey, this is the one thing you'll get out of me is I'll just say the shit. I don't care.
Right.
You can have an honest conversation with me.
Yeah, you always speak your mind, man, and what's going on here. I appreciate that.
That's how you make friends. That's how you make the world a better place. Then that way you know exactly where you stand with people.
Facts. Facts. All right, Patrick,
man.
you got me on here a little longer than what I expected, but it was good conversation. I want to get your perspective because I want to know why people feel like that, and you make me understand. You make me understand why they feel like that, and we got to do more talking so y'all feel our point of view on what we bringing up. But I think we getting them.
Yeah, definitely. We don't disagree that there's a problem out there, and we don't disagree what the problem is. We just got to figure out the details of it and how to make things better for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in even though we may appear to be on opposite ends of the spectrum, we're really not, because we could go through a list of 100 things and 95 of them we'll agree on, and we'll have some discussion on the other 5. That means we pretty much agree on everything, not focusing on the 5 little things we disagree about.
Gotcha. All right, Patrick, man. Hey, stay tapped in, man, so we can always get you. This is what the chat wanted to have a conversation with you about. So
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 o'clock where I'm at. I normally don't even do lives this late, but I wasn't able to do one earlier. So
Yeah, I got you. Well, sorry I wasted your time here.
no, man. I mean, it was interesting, and my boy Trev Jackson. So I'm pretty sure everybody got a kick out of it. But I
Cool.
appreciate everybody for tapping in. You for coming in. Shout out to Doge, Avatar, Cat, everybody who joined in. And man, I'm going live tomorrow. I catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace and love. Y'all have a good night. Good morning.
Peace.
All right, man.